Welcome to the Talent House, the Donart Writers Bookshop Readers Theater. The stories you are about to hear explore the theme, This Is It. Participants examine how we keep our attention on the present moment to keep a positive attitude. Danny Kaye said, life is a great big canvas. Throw all the paint on it you can. We want to use our words and experiences as our canvas and share our combined wisdom through our stories. Our hope is that for the next 30 minutes, you can connect and relate to our experiences.
I come from
a nice, quiet little neighborhood and being a twin.
Living everywhere, worrying about life when I'm not doing something I love.
A big family, having friends, working at Target, and living in Kenosha.
Trips to the beach, fried ripe plantains, playing the piano.
Lots of people around the dinner table. Family and friends that feel like family.
I come from
Lots of doctor's appointments and working really hard to do what other people do easily.
A loving family and being the second child out of 4.
Being a resilient kid, moving up in life, then down, then up again.
Being kind and smart, being a comedian and doing theater and playing in sports at Special Olympics.
An artistic family and doing things in different art forms.
I come from
a dog named Shadow, reading anime books and watching anime shows.
Helping my family when they need it, but also giving them space, making sure that everyone is happy.
Track teams and competitions.
Reading graphic novels and performing improv.
Chicago and moving to Highland Park.
This is it. This is me.
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 My name is Saleem, and my story focuses on racism. Now, before we get started, I need to clarify something. Most people think that racism is hate for Black people, but that's wrong. Racism is when a kid and his dad walk into a restaurant and they're accused of stealing. That is racism. Racism is when you explain that to someone and they say, oh, I go there all the time and that has never once happened to me. No, damn, of course it's not going to happen to you because you are not Black. Racism is when you tell someone, hey, as a kid, I was bullied because I was Black, and you reply, oh, are you sure you just weren't a bad kid in general? That is racism. This is not about you. You haven't experienced this before, so you're not going to know what it's like. So I need to ask you to sit down and be quiet while someone who has experienced tells you what it's like. But enough about racism. Let me jump into my story. Ever since I was small, I knew that I was different from everyone else. I was louder, more impulsive, angrier, more temperamental, and quicker than everyone else. More importantly, I was me, but I wasn't sure that being me was the right thing to be. Being Black means that if someone's kid says that I did something wrong, even if I didn't do anything, then I would most likely be blamed for it because that's the way that it goes in the world, as unfair as it is. And this happened a lot. My mom would be sitting down reading like a normal mom. Then some kid would come up and be like, hey, Saleem. But most importantly, I was me, but I wasn't sure that was the right thing I should be. Being Black meant that if someone's kid said that I would get in trouble, said something, then I would get in trouble for it, even if I didn't do anything. And this happened a lot when I was a kid. My mom would be reading like a normal parent, and then a kid would come up and be like, hey, Saleem did something, and you can imagine whatever. And they would then expect me to get in trouble. And you could see from their faces that this is something that they do to a whole bunch of other black kids. But if they did something wrong and they threw dirt or sand in my eyes, and I would tell their parents, they would be like, they were probably stopping you from pushing them off the equipment or something like that. And if they hit me, then I got this response a lot from the dads. Oh, you can't take a friendly hit, then you're a baby. If you're hit when you're 4 years old, of course you're going to cry. Like, what else do you do? Sure, everyone has gone through that when they were 4. Anyway, that was crappy. Being ADHD didn't do me any favors with their parents too. So all of this combined made me probably the last person on earth they would let their children play with. When you're a kid and the only thing you want to do is play, and you're being discriminated because of the color of your skin and no one wants to play with you, life gets sad and lonely. You sort of draw into yourself. Well, surprise, surprise, that happened to me, and it was exactly how I described it right up until I turned 7. When I was 7, I was already taller than all of my friends by a good 5-6 inches. And this made me look older than I was. So whenever I would play with someone who might be older than me, if they were shorter than me, even if their parents knew this, they would still blame me because I'm bigger and therefore I'm technically older. And so anything that I did that the parents thought was wrong, I would get in trouble for. I couldn't even stand around without someone being like, hey, kid, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm standing here playing in the dirt. What does it look like? And then they would respond with, no, you're not. You're probably doing something that you aren't supposed to. So I would just shake my head and walk away. And then they would usually get upset and tell my parents. My parents never responded. So congratulations to them for that. And if I didn't play the rules of a game that some kid made up exactly the way they wanted it, their parents would go complaining that I scarred their child emotionally for life. Like, whatever. And when they say things like that and they're making me look like a monster in their game and I don't want to do it, I'm crying because of it, I still get in trouble. If this makes a shred of sense to anyone, then I'm sorry, you're a racist. Anyway, the worst part for me in this opinion was that I've known these people since I was 2. We went to the same preschool together, and I know their parents very well. So it was very traumatic. When I got older and looked back on it and realized that it wasn't actually my fault that they were upset, it was the fact that they had racist parents who were teaching them to do stuff like that. It makes me want to scream. Then again, I can't because I'd probably be arrested for disturbing the peace. Anyway, I asked my mom about it, and she said that a lot of children were taught this as they were growing up, and that Black kids need to do exactly what they say, or they can feel free to dish out punishment as they see fit. And that's the sad way of the world. It may be disappointing and some of you may not believe in it, but it's what happens. Now, you're going to want to keep this in mind because it's going to be very important later on. Anyway, when I turned 9, nothing of interest happened while I was 8. This meant 4th grade for me. But for anyone who knows me, they know that this was a very traumatic experience. But I've already told this story, so to sum it up, I lied to make friends, and then it went bad after a long time of being good. Now I'm going to move on because there's no place for it in this story, and I hated that part of my life. When I turned 10, I was going to a co-op school group that met at different parks once a week. There were at least 20 kids there, not counting the parents. And I won't lie, I was extremely upset for what I thought I knew was going to happen. I told myself, if I don't see anyone who looks like they're going to like me there, I'm just going to sit down and read, like I've done so many times before. And so when we got there, I saw a group of kids who looked like they would like a Black friend. So I started to sit down, but when I glanced over at them, I realized that there were a couple of Black kids there, and I was like, cool, they might not hate me, but after pretty much 5 or 6 years of bad experiences, I knew more than just to jump in straight and play with them. And I decided to wait a while before joining them. So I just sat down and read. Next week, however, I decided to join them just to see what would happen. And turns out that I fit in perfectly. I finally felt like I could be myself without looking like a monster to their parents for being taller or something like that. And even though they weren't black, we fit together pretty much perfectly. They were about half an inch shorter than me, if not taller. And they were impulsive, temperamental, louder, and faster than everyone else, like me. And they were themselves, which was extremely like me. And I fit right in. Having friends like that helped me a lot. They helped me interact with people more in my social life. They helped me feel less secluded from society. That's how I got some friends who were pretty much just like me, and how I got over being different. If anyone tries to tell me off for being different, they can shove their heads up there. Well, let's just say, caput tuum eno est, because I can be me if I want to.
Hi, my name is Anya, and my story is called My Disorder. One thing I can't prevent with all the money in the world is my genetic disorder. I was born with it. It's a thing where my sister and I got it from our dad, who got it from his mom, who got it from her dad, and so on. It's called G6PD deficiency. It means that my red blood cells get destroyed faster than average. This happens when I get sick, like with a cold, or I don't have enough iron, or eat certain foods. Some of the foods I can't have are soy sauce, any beans, especially fava beans, which can be deadly to me, peanuts or peanut butter. Sometimes I don't mind with this disorder, but other times I hate it. Like when my brother is eating peanut butter in front of me, he's eating it and I can't have it. I think I survived with this before, so it won't hurt me, but it will. I'll get sick and my head will feel like someone's pounding a sledgehammer. And I can't focus, I just zone out. I find it interesting that I have to change my diet. Some kids have been through the same thing because of food allergies. Last year, we participated in a zombie run. Teenagers dressed in face makeup, hiding in bushes, chasing you, trying to get the flags from your belt while you ran in the dark. The confusion, the scream, and the running were too much for me. Next day, I woke up and I felt awful. My spleen hurt a lot, and for the next few days, I wasn't allowed to do much running or jumping. There are upsides. My body learns to recover faster from anemia by making red blood cells quickly. I learned to listen to my body and trust the messages it sends. I found ways to replace the foods I cannot eat. But instead of soy sauce, I have coconut aminos. And instead of peanut butter, I have sunflower butter. My brain knows I can't have beans, and to protect me, it sends signals that I hate them. My dad says that he felt the same way as a kid. I learned to rely on myself. My doctor barely even knew about this disease. My mom researches it and shares the information with me. I have no control over this disorder, but I do have control over the choices and risks I take.
Hi, my name is Leah Rhodes, and I wrote a story called Special Olympics Horseback Riding. This is it. I told myself that. This is it. That's when I got to Special Olympics in one of the events that I was in, was horseback riding, and when I get to ride a horse and my brother, Richie. It started when I was in high school, Grace Lake Central High School. I was in 10th grade, and I wanted to do something. But what? That's when I realized that I wanted to ride horses again. So my mom and I went to look for a horse ranch where kids with disabilities can ride horses and learn to get to know them. That's where we found it, Equestrian Connections, where kids learn to ride horses, play horses games while riding on the horses, interact with horses, and be in horse competitions so they can go to the Special Olympics state. When I first walked in, I could feel and smell the horses through my bones. So I went in, and that's when I saw him. Richie, the most beautiful horse I've ever seen. It's like we've been meant to meeting each other and becoming siblings for the first time. So we went in and talked to the owner of the horse ranch, and they gave us a tour to see what they do in Equestrian Connections. First, they showed us their horse activities, and at the final part of the tour was the horse arena, where kids get to ride horses, and they have 2 competitions for the riders and the horses to enter for the Special Olympics state. I was so excited to be in it. So the guy grabbed Richie and asked me to get on him. I was nervous at first, but I knew that I had to do it. So while I was getting comfortable with riding on Richie, we knew that we were meant to be together. So we competed in Equestrian Connections riding events. We won 2nd place for the first event. Then we won 1st place for the 2nd event, which means I can go state with Richie. The Special Olympics state was being held at Decatur, Illinois. We just arrived at the first event. Richie and I were nervous at first, but we've come this far to be in state. Plus, I got a chance to meet up with my friends, Grace and Elise Sansbury, who came by and watched the games. Then, after watching the riders compete in their events, and while talking to my friend Grace, the announcer just announced the next horse event. That was my next event at the games. Richie and I were ready. I got on Richie and we walked a little. So when the announcer asked me and Richie to perform in front of the judges and the audience, we were ready. When Richie and I walked in the horse arena, we knew that this was it. The judges told us to begin to do our performance. We did a pattern and going in circles in the cones. After we were done, the judges were talking. Richie's and my hearts were beating so fast. What if we fail? Or we didn't impress the judges? I got off Richie, and we did our best for the competition. Still, our hearts were beating so fast, Richie and I were holding our breath. So, after the judges were done talking, they announced that I got gold in the event. I was so happy when the judges gave me my medal, and I walked out in the arena proudly. Then I went to visit Richie and show him our medal. He was so happy that we won and we got gold. So I went back to the arena, and there, standing in front of me, was my friends and family. They were so proud of me and Richie. We went out to eat and celebrate of our medal. Plus, me and Richie we are so proud of ourselves that we were in the Special Olympics state. After the Special Olympics was over, we went back and we had to say our goodbyes to our friends and Richie, and they said goodbye to us as well. We went home remembering how great we were in the games and how my "this is it" moment happened in my life and Richie's as well.
Story is called My Any Moment. It was a regular day in a regular week in the month of January. School was uneventful. I was looking forward to my favorite part of the week, my theater class. I was really excited to start a new season of Special Kids Theater, a program that pairs a child with a disability with an able-bodied peer. I have participated in this program with my buddy Jack for the last 5 years. We met in school in 6th grade and have been inseparable ever since. He is brilliant. He has a creative mind and a heart of gold. I am glad to call him my friend. Jack helps me with accessing the classrooms and the stage, as well as the scripts and the lines. He drives my chair using the joystick when I need it. He reads the script to me and prompts me if I forget my lines. The program runs through September to March every year, and each pair of friends is assigned a classroom with a theater teacher for a few months. And then the whole group comes together to rehearse. The year before we found out we would be doing any. I'm always enthusiastic and happy when I'm at the theater. I enjoy the energy in the air, and I love the classes and the teachers and the other students as well. I have developed many special friendships through the years. It's one of my favorite places, and I think it shows. A little past halfway in the season, every year the Rhodes are announced. This is a very exciting day for everyone in the program because the teachers dress up like the characters. They announce our roles like game show hosts. Everyone is on the edge of the seat to find out who they will be. This year, there seemed to be more of a buzz. People were excited to play in their favorites already. Jack and I were hanging out, watching students claim their roles, enjoying the excitement. It seemed like it would go on forever. I was nervous and anxious all at the same time. I started to wonder if they might have overlooked me. Finally, the only role that was left to be awarded was the starting role of Anya herself. I was so surprised when they gave it to me. I felt really proud of myself and Jack. I swelled up with pride. Over the next few months, Jack and I met up as often as we could to go over lines. We knew we had a huge responsibility to get this right. As much as he tried to hide it, I knew Jack was really nervous. A buddy is there to fill in the lines when their partner forgets. We attended waitress rehearsals and worked really hard. They tried to get me to wear a curly red wig, but I said, "No way! I already have red hair." When the week of the shows finally arrived, we felt pretty ready and confident. The shows were set for Saturday and Sunday afternoons, and I was really buzzing. On Friday at school, I started coughing and my nose started to get stuffy. Oh no! How can I do this show when it's that cold? When I got home from school, it continued to progress. I was freaking out! What if I couldn't not do my shows? If I am not feeling well, does Jack need to be Annie? Will we have to get that wig back? It would be really funny to see Jack in the Annie costume. This cannot be happening. All I could do was try to get some sleep and rally in the morning. I woke up Saturday morning feeling like there was a brick on my head. I could not breathe at all through my nose, and I was beat. But I was still really excited. I got in costume and my mom curled my hair, and then we went off to the shows. I wasn't gonna let this cold ruin my moment. As soon as the lights went on, I got out on the stage and sang my heart out. My body was tingling and I was nervous. Also, I was really disoriented, so Jack helped me to maneuver on stage. I was anxious to get started. Being part of the group and seeing our audience energized me. When my favorite song Tomorrow came up, I was so happy. I sang until my throat was dry and my voice couldn't go any further. I was so caught up in all the excitement, I forgot all about my cold. My whole family and many friends were there. When I looked out at the front row and I saw them standing there, I felt really happy and exhilarated. After the show was over, my friends and family came over to my house to celebrate our success in the show. We did it! Yay!
Hi, I'm Mary Pfaff, and my story is called Runner's Rush. Early November air has a crisp, cool feel to it. You can breathe it in without any problem. And the cold air sweeps into your lungs, and it fills them. The air is like that today, on the day of the sectionals meet, but filled with bubbling energy. This may be my last meet, so I'm going to have to give it my all. On the bus, my legs are shaking, and they feel weary after a long season of hard work, competition, and leg pains here and there. Even when I get off the bus, I take that first swig of November air in, my lungs feel crushed together, squeezing tighter and tighter until they collapse out of being nervous. We set up our tent for meets, and I look at it one last time. It makes me nostalgic almost, thinking about all the meets we have been through. I put down my bag with my water bottle, protein bar, trainers, and spikes. I just got spikes, and they're supposed to help you pick up your feet in the grass a little more. It gives me a little more confidence, but I know I'm the one who may stop myself from succeeding. I'm going to be running with the varsity girls. I can't believe it! I started on junior varsity. It's the lower level of running. And I'm on varsity now, I guess. I mean, I may not be the fastest, but I'm fast enough, I guess, to be on varsity. But that only adds to the pressure. I mean, what if I fail? What if I'm not meant to be on varsity? What if I disappoint my team? Just like that, my feet are on the starting line with my new spikes. I think I'm going to faint seeing the hundreds of girls I'm up against. They all look so strong and bold. Me? Weak and stupid. But I see my teammates' smiling faces, and it gives me courage. I have worked hard to get here, and I will give everything I have got. On your mark, get set, pew, pew, pew. It's chaos. I start running. People cheer and bounce up and down. Then suddenly, I trip. Time seems to freeze. Everything seems to slow down. And I'm suddenly on my hands and knees on the grass covered in morning dew. Crap! What am I gonna do now? I clumsily get up, and now I realize I'm almost last. No! Stupid feet! Oh! I run and I get back into my pace. And I realize I'm almost last. And I feel people's eyes watching me, watching my humiliation. I'm so angry with myself, and I think I will fail. But then again, I'm not the fastest on varsity, right? So I might still have a chance. The people's faces mesh into a blur, and I go into what I call no-brainer mode. It's when my thoughts travel around and I'm only focused on the drumming of my feet below me. So I'm in this mode thinking of music I listen to, and I become less tense and less enraged by myself, and more positive and mellow. And I'm in the middle of the race, and I'm still last. But then I see a fellow teammate up ahead of me, and she's going more and more behind because she's getting more and more exhausted. Soon, I'm close to her, and I'm going to pass her. As I do, I tell her she's got this. I kind of feel guilty for leaving her behind, but it's okay to have good days and not so good days. I mean, everyone has them. In a blink of an eye, I'm past her. I'm hoping she's okay. I mean, she did look quite exhausted. My mind goes back into that mode again. And as soon as I know it, I see the finish. I sprint with all my energy left inside of me, like pouring gasoline on a fire. People cheer, and the JV girls see me, and they cheer my name. Even if I suck at sprinting, my legs feel strong and unstoppable. And I finish. I think my time may not be as good, and that would be disappointing, but there's always next year. After my race concludes, the junior varsity are going to race. I watch each person get ready, and my good friends are on the starting line. But I can't see them since they're swallowed up by a huge crowd of runners. Now, it's getting tense. Everyone is ready, and they're waiting for that one. It went off! The crowd flashes before my eyes. I cheer loudly so they can hear. All the girls already make a turn, and I go to another stretch to get a glimpse of the excitement. Here they come! Now, the swirling crowd of JV girls has fizzled out, and I can see my friends better. And we all cheer their names, and we all jump up and down. I feel a rush of pure ecstatic energy bursting open. Then, I remember how I could have done bad, and I am going to find out after. And I'm restless to find out! But then the bursting energy picks me up again. And we watch our fellow teammates zip around the course for about 2.5 miles. I cheer so loud, my lungs could bust wide open. Then they are finishing! I watch each person zip past me, and I cheer louder than before to push them along. Each person seems to have a look of relief and determination painted across their face. It's fun to watch. All the teammates finish, and now it is the moment of truth. Dun, dun, dun. We congratulate them, and we head back to the tent. The coaches are waiting for us. They're going over each and every one of our names. Then we get to my name. Mary! You PR'd! What? That's crazy! Did they see me trip? The moment kept playing in my head like a never-ending movie. I PR'd. Now we head over for awards, and one of our fastest teammates got one of them. We give her a big congratulations. And we pack up, and all of us are weary of a long day. I climbed back on the bus and sat with my friends, all of us happy and tired. I'm still in shock about my time and so happy. I think this was one of my best running days. I have a beaming confidence in me instead of a lingering feeling of failure, and I can't wait to see what I can do next year. Heck, I'm only a freshman.
That was it. That was me.
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 That's how I got friends who were just like me, and how I got over being different from anyone else. If they ever tried to make me bad, they can go and shove their heads up there.
I can't prevent what all the men in the world is my genetic disorder. There are times when I don't care about it, but other times I hate it.
We went home remembering how great we were in the games and how my this is moment happened in my life and my brother's as well.
I was caught up in all the excitement. I forgot all about my cold. My whole family and friends were there. After the show was over, my friends and family came over to my house to celebrate our success in the show. We did it!
I'm still in shock about my time and so happy. I think this was one of my best running days. I have a beaming confidence in me instead of a lingering feeling of failure. I can't wait for next year.
This is it. Looking at the negativity that I see on the internet makes me want to talk to my therapist.
This is it. I look in the mirror and see a 10 junior generous friend.
This is it. I keep telling myself that with my attitude about things is all about in my mind.
This is it. When you have electric wheels, your life can be literally a wild ride. So buckle up or you will get dragged behind.
I try to take advantage of all the opportunities in life because I know I only have one.
This is it, and I can make it as
Wild.
Crazy!
Colorful!
you know. This is it, and I can make it as
Wild.
Crazy!
Colorful!
As I want to.
Thank you for attending this evening's performance of This Is It. Tell and Tales provides these programs for free. And for us to continue to do this great work, we need your help. And you can do this by giving us a donation. And it's easy. You just go to our website at tellandtales.org and click on the donate button. Have a great evening.